Hello, everyone. I am Dr. Prem Shankar Pandey, the author of this fabulous book, Literary Theories and Criticism. This is a revolutionary book that I have brought for your success in any of the competitive exams. This book covers the all important points, all important concepts in very lucid and simple language. And it covers literary theories, literary criticism, cultural studies, and the best part is that it covers all British literary criticism, starting from Sir Philip Sidney to Virginia Woolf. All the important concepts are included from British literary criticism. So now I am going to give you the brief idea of the book in this session. So this is the front page of the book. You can see literary theories and criticism on your lips, an intensive study of literary theories, criticism, culture studies, and British literary criticism. It is the first edition published in the 2022. And I am also the bestseller of my previous book, World Literature in Your Face, and Assortment of English Literature. Now, these are the testimonials that I have received about my previous two books. I really pay a lot of thanks to all the scholars who has put their excellent thoughts about this book. This is my second book, Practice Workbook of English Literature, The Depth Unlimited. Again, very beautiful comments given by the readers. Then I move on to the forewords. Before you start reading the book, kindly go to the forewords where I have expressed my intention and my strategy for writing this book. So here you can see the reading strategy of the book is given. If you follow this strategy, your comprehension skill, your memorizing skill will definitely enhance. Let us look at the content of the book. So you can see there are various units in the book, starting with Unit 1, that is Classical Criticism, where I have explained about Plato, Aristotle, Socrates, Longinus, Horace, and finally, all the important questions that have been asked in the previous years, not only in NET and SET, but also in the assistant professor exam. The second unit is Indian aesthetics, where I have talked about all the concepts of Indian aesthetics. We will see in detail. The third unit is about Russian formalism, which was a counter of Russian symbolist movement. Then you will find Russian formalism. The main proponents of Russian formalism, Victor Slovatsky, Mikhail Bakhtin, and finally the important question of this unit. So what is the beauty of this book is that once you complete one chapter, one unit, and after that you can understand how much things you have grasped, how much things you have understand by solving the questions. That's why at the end of every unit you will find some important questions. The fourth unit is about the new criticism. So you can see there are many proponents of the new critics like Wimsatt, J.C. Ransom, Kenneth Brooks, I.A. Richards, Alan Tate, F.R. Lewis, William Amson, R.B. Blackmore, and finally the important questions. The next unit is structuralism, where I have discussed about the basic terms of structuralism, then structuralism, and main proponents of this movement, Ferdinand de Saussure, Claude Lévi-Strauss, Michel Foucault, and Louis Althusser. And finally, the important questions again. The sixth unit of the book is post-structuralism, which was the post-structuralism was followed by structuralism. So the main proponents of this movement are Jacques Derrida, Roland Barthes, Julia Kristeva, and Jean Baudrillard. And finally, the important question of this unit. The seventh unit is the reader response criticism, where I've talked about reader response criticism and the main proponent, Stanley Fish. And again, the important question of this unit. The eighth unit is the new historicism. So in this unit, I have talked about new historicism and its main proponent, Stephen Greenblatt. The ninth unit is myth or archetypal criticism, where I have talked about archetypal criticism along with its main proponent, Northrop Frye. And finally, the main important questions of this unit. The 10th unit is about the cultural studies. Now, here is a controversy that cultural studies does not only include the chapters that I have included in the books. Rather, cultural studies is a very broader term like it includes feminism, Marxism, myth criticism, everything. But I have covered all these topics separately and only kept cultural criticism, cultural materialism, and Stuart Hall in this section. So don't think that cultural studies cover very less. It is a very broader term, and I have covered every aspect of the cultural studies separately. The next unit is Marxism. In this Marxism, I have discussed about Marxist criticism, Raymond Williams, Antonio Gramsci, Frederick Jansen, Terry Eagleton, Jairzi Lukács, and finally the important questions of this unit. And unit number 12, I have talked about post-colonialism. Post-colonialism is all about the main concept. Then the main proponent of post-colonialism, Homi Bhabha, Edward Said, Kadi Chakravarti Spivak, and finally the important questions of the unit. The next unit, unit number 30, is feminist criticism, in which I have discussed about feminist criticism, all the waves of feminist criticism in detail, and the main proponents, Simon de Beauvoir, Aline Sowater, Helen Zixos, Judith Butler, and the main proponents of this unit. The main questions are discussed at the end of this unit. Unit number 14 is psychoanalytical criticism. In this unit, I have talked about psychoanalysis and the main proponents like Sigmund Freud, Carl Jung, Jacques Lacan, and finally the important questions. The fifth unit is a miscellaneous unit where I have discussed about the queer theory, phenomenological criticism, eco-criticism, and finally all the questions of this unit are included at the end of this chapter. The most important, very interesting part of the book is British literary criticism, which I have covered from chapter number 78 to 100. 23 chapters are covered in this, where I have discussed about important critics of British literature, like The Art of English Poesy by George Buchanan, Their Defense of Poesy or an Apology for Poetry by Philip Sidney, Observation in the Art of English Poesy by Thomas Campion, A Defense of Rhyme by Samuel Dengel, An Essay of Dramatic Poesy by John Dryden, Essay on Criticism by Alexander Pope, A Philosophical Inquiry into the Origin of Ideas of the Sublime and Beautiful by Edmund Burke, Preface to Shakespeare by Dr. Samuel Johnson, Lives of the Most Eminent English Poets by, again, Dr. Samuel Johnson, Preface to Lyrical Ballads by William Wordsworth, Biographia Literaria by S.T. Coleridge. Then I have covered Criticism by John Keats, then Forays of Poetry by Thomas Locke Peacock, A Defense of Poetry by P.B. Shelley, Culture and Anarchy, Essay in Criticism, and The Study of Poetry, the three important critical works by Matthew Arnold. Then Tradition and Individual Talent, Hamlet and His Problems, The Metaphysical Poets, and Function of Criticism. There's four important critical works by T.S. Eliot, and A Room of One's Own by Virginia Woolf. And finally, there are almost more than 100 questions included at the end of this